Jeremy Showtime Grimes of Studio 22, and I'm line.
You're on the 3 Count podcast.
And you're listening to
I knew that she raised one. All of your hate won't change.
To another great edition of the 3 Count Presents. Now entering the ring. I'm your host, Clifford Red Dog Miller, as always, and I'm actually joined by a roster. It's weird because the last few interviews, you guys haven't seen them. So let's give it up for my best friend from high school. And coincidentally, he's just stuck around my whole life. I don't understand what's been happening. I was supposed to be at his wedding. I cut a promo instead and sent it in as a wedding video. It will attach it somewhere. It'll probably be like on YouTube or something. Anyway, we haven't even introed you in. You just can't intro to intro. Anyway, give it up for my best friend, Lou.
Thanks a lot, Kara, for taking my intro.
Jeez. As you can see, she was just eating ice cream before we got started because, it's close to her bedtime and, she gets her sugary sweets. And, she gets to deal with mom afterwards. So give it up for my daughter, Keiki.
Hey, I'm here.
So this is the 3 Count Presents Now Entering the Ring, which means one thing. We have a special guest for you. She can be found at 1CW. You can also find her at Warriors of Wrestling. Also, you can see her traveling up and down East Coast. She has tons of best friends, and I hope that one day I will be one of them. But she is Death's daughter, Adrianna.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing well. So, let's just dive right into business, right? So, first question for you, it's pretty easy. Who is Adrianna?
How do I explain Adrianna? Like, as far as me, well, how do I say it? I'm a psychopath.
I get it.
That's all I have to say. I'm a psychopath. Wherever I go, hopefully I feel as though I bring joy to people's lives. But I don't put up with anybody's BS. I don't know what else to say. But
it is what it is. That's the answer. But there's nothing to it. So we do have our first person who's going to be asked the questions as she runs in and out of the shot. So Kira, the floor is yours.
Oof.
Or you can fall.
How'd you come up with your character?
So when it comes to your gimmick is all about who you are. So when I first started in the business, I was thinking maybe like I do something with my heritage. So I was thinking, well, maybe let me do something Native American. Let me do something Samoan. Nope. Half the people in the business do something of their ethnicity. So I wanted to stand out. And one thing that I'm really into is horror movies. And another thing that I'm really interested in is cults. So my gimmick is basically based off of American Horror Story. You don't know how many times I've rewatched the season where the guy's political, the way he talks. That's one thing I'm really passionate about. It's one thing I'm studying in college is cults, how they work, where they originate from, all the whole 9 yards. So I fixed that into my gimmick because I feel as though that's just who I am. As well as, if you can tell by my gear, it's based off of Mortal Kombat. And I'm a big nerd. So how I fit into my gimmick is you always want to have fun with your gimmick. You always want it to be who you are. You always want to find something. You'll actually find something new about yourself. So that's basically what my gimmick is. Like how I put it together. Like before, if you saw me like last year, 2 years ago, I didn't know like what I was, who I was. So you have to do like some soul searching. So when I was on maternity leave, that's when I really dug deep. And I was thinking, like, I was piecing everything together. I was like, listen, I like Mortal Kombat. Maybe I should use like Scorpion because that's my favorite character. Maybe a little bit of Katana. So maybe then I should put in like a cult leader. I had never seen anybody in this business that's had a cult leader gimmick. So I feel as though with that, it would really stand out, and I would be able to build it up from there.
What's your favorite anime/cartoon?
My favorite anime is My Hero Academia. Like, I'm rewatching it for the 6th time.
So she did. I knew that. I just wanted her to ask that question because we're literally going through it right now. We sit down and we watch like 3 episodes, like every like Saturday or Sunday. We'll like watch 3 episodes and then we'll keep moving. So we're like on season 2 right now with Deku.
It's my favorite. Like, Todoroki and Tokoyami are like my favorite characters.
Todoroki's so lit. Remember the
He is.
Yeah.
That's the dude.
He's so hot. If he ever existed in person, like, I would husband him up so fast.
I like it.
And then you get your last question.
What's your favorite genre of books and music?
My favorite genre of books. Man, I kind of like romantic. Like, I get really mushy. So Nicholas Sparks would be probably my favorite author. But I also like horror. My sister actually wrote a book, and she's really close with Stephen King. So I really like Stephen King books. My favorite genre of music, I would have to say, is heavy metal. That's basically like takes up 95% of my playlist. But I do have my hood side.
Yeah, my list of music is a giant who's list of everything.
I think they froze up.
Cliff, you
I froze up. Oh my god, I came back.
He's just smiling. He's like,
It's so awkward. Oh,
I
we
was
fucked
like,
up.
oh, okay. Did I say something wrong?
No. Now I gotta go edit. I was saying my list of music is just a giant who's list of just like randomness. Like, I would drive in a car, you could hear like Pantera, and then the very next song is the soundtrack of Hamilton. And you're like, I don't get it.
It's all a mood. It depends on the mood.
Right? That's awesome though. So my question is for you, right? We'll start this off with one, and this is one I kind of really wanted to know. What's been a worst bump you've ever taken?
Ooh. I'd probably say a flip bump. I like doing flip bumps, but when you're doing it with the wrong people, you kind of almost lose your head. But it's all like about protecting yourself. So I think the worst bump I ever taken was a flip bump. And that's because I whacked my head.
Was there a particular match that you like took a flip bump badly?
Yeah, I was supposed to take a suplex, and then they turned it into a brain buster, like right in the middle of it, like right when I was midair. Like, she just dropped, and I was like, oh, like I couldn't feel it until like after my match when the adrenaline kind of seeps down, and then I'm like, why does my head hurt so much? They were like, you whacked your head pretty hard.
Damn.
So.
Oh man. All right, so let's pretend like we have a time machine, right? And we go 5 years into the future. Where do you see yourself?
I see myself on AEW. That's what I'm really pushing for. I mean, that was kind of like my goal for 2020, was to at least maybe go back to Germany, maybe put on Japan. And I was talking to a promotion out in Spain, but thanks COVID. But I definitely see myself in 5 years on the roster for AEW.
Okay, nice. My last question for you is, what do you think has been missing from the industry?
Discipline. I feel as though a lot of people in this business get by too much with a lot of the stuff they do, and I'm sorry to say it, but a lot of people, actually, no, I'm not sorry. A lot of people are given certain things that they don't deserve. Like there's a lot of hardworking people out here that actually put in the time and dedication into their work, into their gimmick, into their wrestling. And they're overlooked by people who, like, I guess, how do you say, politic their way into things. So that's one thing that I feel as though like discipline really is missing from wrestling.
Dang, that's wild. I wouldn't. That's the first time I've heard that. Like, not like of like the business of people like politicking and stuff like that, but like just discipline in general. Like that's such a unique answer. Like, thank you for that. So let me give it up to Lou. He's gonna have the next set of questions for you.
All right, Adrianna. We're gonna take it off of wrestling real quick. What do you prefer, salty or sweet?
Sweet.
What's your favorite snack? That's a caveat
Me.
to that question. What'd you
My
say?
favorite snack.
Did you say you?
Cupcakes. I love cupcakes.
Awesome. If you weren't wrestling, what would you be doing in life?
I'd probably be in the army right now. Either that or in Germany with my sister.
Army dog right here.
Let me guess, he's Marines.
Air Force.
Oh, okay, that's my second answer.
Can't you tell by like he puts makeup on before this? Like you can tell he's there.
I try to look good. You look camera ready. Even though I don't have good lighting, I got to put on a good camera face.
Contour.
Contour lines, yeah.
Yeah,
Come right into the beard.
if I can tell you, we both are veterans. We both served. I was 06, 07. You were 07, 08?
Yeah. What do you mean? Oh, yeah.
Deployment.
Yeah, we deployed.
My last question is, what keeps you motivated to improve your skills in wrestling?
I would say my family, my kids. I wouldn't say my friends. But I like people like doing well in this business. I think one person that I really admired was Nyla Rose and Sunny Kiss and all of them. They motivate me. Like I'm not necessarily like a transgender or like yeah, I'm bisexual, but I'm not like how Sunny is, like gay. But seeing people do well and like making history is what motivates me.
I can dig that.
Is that your final question?
That was my 3. I only get 3.
You get as many as you want, bro. Like
I have your autograph.
Sure, you can have an autograph.
You know what though? Like I should have known that was coming because the first time he did an interview with someone, that was a question he asked, and I feel like that's gotta be part of your gimmick now, man. Like you gotta just
Right.
ask that question now. I don't make the same face every single time.
I am not a sexist pig by any means, but female wrestlers get me going. Like not that way, but it is like the best thing to see them because they're doing. Shut up, Cliff. I'm talking here. You see them doing a lot more. Like they work harder than the men do to compete because they're trying to get that main event. They're trying to get that spotlight, and so it's not they don't get me going like that, but they excite me because they want that spotlight.
That's one thing I'm pushing for is main event on a main roster.
Yes.
It was something that we brought up too. I kind of want to get your thoughts on it too, right? So it's been noted, right, that especially like the WWE, right, like they kind of like squander some of their talent that they have, right, from being good. But with the past couple of years, right, like especially people like obviously Sasha with Bayley, Charlotte, Becky, kind of leading the forefront with the 4 horsewomen. They really kind of elevated, like, I guess they brought the forefront like female wrestling to like people's faces, and you can actually see because I've noted on a couple of our shows that you can literally build the whole WWE off the women's roster because of how hard they work. Like, is that something that you've like? And I obviously answers would be yes, right? But like, what's been your favorite part about like watching the whole like forefront get pushed right into everybody's like living rooms?
As far as like the women's wrestling,
Yes.
um, I'm really enjoying it. Like I feel as though we really came a long way. It started from women just being, how do you say it, like kind of being like just eye candy, and like women being kind of walked all over and overlooked. But I feel as though we're kind of, how do you say it, carrying the guys. We're actually making people want to watch more, like people that are saying, oh, WWE's fake and everything. And they're like, oh, I don't watch that crap. But now that women are making like history, they're like, okay, well, let me kind of look at this. Let me rethink this. So I'm really liking how it's going, and it's like how we're kind of running the world a little bit in WWE and in wrestling business.
I know that. I know that look, and Anthony knows that look because our moms give us that look all the time.
I give my kids that look all the time.
As the
They know
parent.
that one look. It's like,
All
what
right,
do you want? Just wait a minute.
I like it. I got one more question.
Mhm.
What is your favorite match of all time that you've done?
Hmm. Probably with my best friend, JL Kodo at WXWC4. She was like my favorite match. It's because we know each other so well. Like we don't even have to like call the match. Like we can just read each other's body language. We just know how we are. How do you say it? I was gonna say how each other is, but that's so ghetto.
I'm watching this match right now, actually, while we're talking.
Yeah, that's like my favorite match ever.
It's a good one.
Your girl was big, but she was just like one of my favorites. But I just love her to death. She's been there for me forever, and it's just body language, just reading people's body language, and you don't even have to talk. It's just like, okay, boom, 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 boom. We do this. We got the chemistry. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say I watched a match with Frankie Picard, and I genuinely enjoyed that match a lot. I love it. I love it. All right, so with that being said, let's get into this, right? So we're gonna have our world famous 10 count questions. Exactly, she got it. So here's how it works. We're going to ask you a lot of questions, right? It's just going to be first thought. So I'm going to put our imaginary timer on the clock. Bing! And the questions begin with Scorpion or Sub-Zero?
Scorpion.
We're going to have to talk about this. Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Okay. Favorite instructor from UA High?
Mr. Aizawa.
Nia Jax or Tamina?
Nia Jax.
I had to put the Samoans against each other.
I
had to make her choose.
now. Chaz will like you now.
He don't like me, so he has to like Daddy.
So, favorite flavor of Kool-Aid?
Ooh.
Cherry.
Yes.
It's a Friday night. What are you doing?
Probably playing video games.
SmackDown or Raw?
SmackDown.
Last show you binge watched?
Probably My Hero.
Should have guessed. Favorite wrestling promotion?
West Side Extreme Wrestling in Germany.
Okay. And last but not least, my favorite question. Favorite curse word?
Awkward bitch.
Bet. All right, first of all, we got to talk about this, okay? Scorpion of Sub-Zero?
Sub-Zero all the way.
Leader of the Lin Kuei?
Oh, I mean, if
Frozen.
you would have said favorite Mortal Kombat like character, it would probably be Noob Saibot. But
Right.
between those two, either that Liu Kang or Raiden, I have a lot of favorites.
So I low-key was going to ask you between Noob Saibot and, any other character, but, I kind of already knew that Noob Saibot was your favorite, and I'm not going to lie, he's my favorite too. So that's why I was like, I got to come up with other people. And then you said, like, oh, man. So I could just done Reptile versus Rain and see who this was.
I would pick Rain. I hate Reptile with a passion.
He's a lovely guy when you get to learn how to play him right.
Oh my gosh, I hated fighting him because I had bought like MK11 because my ex stole it, so I had to redo the storyline and everything. And I like, who was I fighting? I was fighting him, but I was using someone. It was just horrible. Like I could not like beat him for some reason.
Yeah, he's a challenge. I think for me too, next to him, I think having, especially with Mortal Kombat 11, you have like a perfect point. My favorite character was Spawn. Like I just low key,
Yeah, I like Spawn.
Yeah, he was good.
yeah, he's amazing. And then after that, it's Noob, because Noob is he's just got such cool stuff that he likes to do, and then he rips people in half.
Yeah, that was like the best. I hated at the end where you had to fight. What's her name? Krona, something like that.
Oh yeah,
Cronus, something like the Time Girl, and I just hated. It was just horrible. Like I don't know how many times I threw my controller.
yeah.
It was just that stressful.
So if you're not playing Mortal Kombat, you're not watching My Hero Academia, what other, actually, I just want to know, what other video games are you playing?
I'm usually playing Modern Warfare. I usually piss people off when it comes to like gunfight because for one, I'm a female and guys always like the best comeback for them is like go be in the kitchen, make me a sandwich, and I'm just like, okay, like bro, you just mad because I just whooped your ass in some like gunfight. But my friends are trying to get me onto Apex. I like Dead by Daylight. Yeah,
Okay.
Dead by Daylight, or GTA. But I had to step away from GTA a little bit because I was getting a little too excited with blowing up the cars and shooting the people, and I didn't want like another me to like you see me on CNN or something.
Nice.
I like
Well, bet. So with that being said, can you let our listeners know our listeners and our viewers actually know where they can find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Moslay. So it's MOSLAYY. I'm on Twitch. It's Moslay, but with 4 Y's. Did I say Instagram? Yeah. Facebook, Adrianna Mosley, or Snapchat, Cookies and Me 3. I like post the best memes ever, so you'll be entertained.
Bet. So then we'll actually have those so people can actually find you and, give you shout outs and stuff. So with that being said, I am the Red Dog, Clifford Miller, here with Lou. This is the 3 Count Presents, now entering ring, Adrianna. And of course, you guys saw her. She like runs in and out of the frame all the time. Yes, it's Keiki. So guys, check out the next episodes and be there or
Be somewhere else.
what she said.
what she said.
That's what she said.
Hey guys, it's the host of the 3 Count, Chaz Evans here. Make sure to let you know that I don't run shit, I don't do shit, I just talk shit. And make sure you subscribe to our podcast. What else did you do? You should also follow us on all social medias. That's the Facebook at 3 Count Podcast, the Instagram at 3 Count Pod, and the Twitter at 3Count_pod. Also, if you like us a lot, you should definitely buy a t-shirt at prowrestlingtees.com/3countpod, and that's the number 3. Don't be an idiot and type in THREE, because you're not going to find anything. So make sure you follow us at 3CountPod or 3Count_pod on Twitter and buy a shirt. Be there or be somewhere else.